Oh, welcome back to the Constitutionals podcast. I'm your host, Chad White. If you didn't know, this is episode 199. Wow, of the show. Baby, I just took a nice short sip of San Pellegrino. San Pellegrino water. If you're watching the video, I'm doing an ad. San Pellegrino water. It's the bottle's too small. It's smaller than Perrier. That's my review. But ooh, it's got a nice kick to it. Refreshing. I usually buy Perrier. I got 3 Perrier in the fridge. I just saw the San Pellegrino at Publix, and I said, you know what? I'm going to give those small bottles a try. Then I realized very quickly, as soon as I walked out of that store, I have a large bottle of San Pellegrino sitting inside the fridge that I bought like 3 or 4 weeks ago. No fooling. I have so many bottles of seltzer. It's great to have all that seltzer, right? You know? Replace the, let's see, what? Instead of coming home, cracking a beer like people my age typically do, I crack open a nice hard seltzer. And speaking of coming home, just sitting there. Nothing to come home from. Episode 199, the Constitutionals podcast, premier podcast, website, cpluscomedy.com. Like I just said, it's a website. Go there. Recording an episode. Something just happened on CNN. Like it's one of the few times I've had CNN on the background, and I've heard the words, "We have breaking news," and it's been real breaking news. Somebody drove a car into the Capitol. Tried to drive a car into the Capitol, but they drove into a barricade. So now the person is in custody. But 2 officers were injured. We hope that they get a speedy recovery. What else happened today? Nothing. Oh, I bought a new yoga mat. I had to. I've been using a workout mat for like the past 2 years as a yoga mat, and it's not good. It's way too thick. I could never catch balance, but I've learned to compensate for that. But now I have a new yoga mat. It's airing out. When you buy a decent yoga mat, it's good. This is a real tidbit. When you come home with that yoga mat, Lululemon, all the way down to Target, roll it out. Let the chemicals smell. They treat it with these chemicals to make it sticky and stuff. Just roll it out. Let it air out for a day. Then use it. I can't wait to do a class. But then last week. Last week it was announced that Peloton wouldn't be doing live yoga classes for the next basically month. Like I think it's like 3 straight weeks without yoga and meditation. I can only assume that they are doing renovations to their yoga studio, just like they've done renovations to the workout studio. And now they have a very nice looking workout studio and Pilates space and all that stuff. Listen, I'm head over heels for this Peloton stuff. I'm a year and a couple of weeks in. I love it. If only I could afford a bike. Constitutionals podcast 199. Nothing big planned for 200, so don't get your hopes up about that. We are recording off the laptop again, the camera, because my DSLR has been acting up. It turned off on me when I was recording News Time earlier this week. And by earlier this week, I mean yesterday. What's today, Thursday? No, today's Friday. Ooh, boy. I was recording it on Wednesday then. But here we are. We're doing it. We're doing it, baby. Hey, man, Bill Clinton here. We're sitting here recording a podcast. Let's say I'm a vegan now. Right on, you know. I'm still a poon hound. I know this is a clean podcast. I know we don't say any bad words on here, but man, I love to get it. I still got a nice head of hair, looking like Ted Danson. We're about the same age. Ted and I. Looking like Sam Malone. Hair all swooped back. Got a good old smile. I'm a Southern boy. I'm a charmer. All right, I gotta go. Bye now. Whoa, Bill Clinton was here. Man, you guys just missed him. Very odd that he would come to this stupid show. Hey, let's get into the first story. Let's talk about. Oh no, let's do this. T-Mobile for a second. T-Mobile has killed its streaming service after only 5 months. Do a little bit of rearranging here on the Notion pad. This comes from The Verge. Written by Chris Welch, T-Mobile is already shutting down its live TV service, partners with YouTube TV and Philo. So it's called T-Vision Live, and it is, and I'm going to use YouTube TV because they're partnered with YouTube TV. It is just like YouTube TV. It's just like Hulu with Live TV. It's just like Philo. It's just like every other live TV streaming platform. Just hit the mic arm. Where you have a channel guide, you can watch channels, and that's it. That's what it is. But that was a T-Mobile branded one. And it only came out in the fall. And I remember when it came out thinking, who would get this? Who was so entrenched in the T-Mobile ecosystem? I understand that AT&T has DirecTV. What is that? DirecTV Now, and like two other besides HBO Max, 2 other live TV streaming services. I get that. I totally respect it. But here's the thing: outside of traditional cable, there are 3 or 4 reputable live TV services. Sling, YouTube TV, Hulu with Live TV, Philo, and Fubo. 6. So 6. I was going to say 5 earlier, but I didn't want to overshoot it. But there's like 6 of them. And then besides that, they have smaller tier ones, your PlayStation TVs, or whatever, PlayStation Live, whatever that was, that just aren't going to make it. Hands down. But now when you want to put your brand behind something and make your own TV streaming service, I mean, you can do it, but who's it for? So this is a new partnership with Google and YouTube TV. The carrier says YouTube TV will now fill the role of its, quote, live TV solution. It's also positioning Philo TV as a replacement for its base offering. So they had 3 versions: Live, Live Plus, and Live Zone. This is so stupid. Why did they have this? It was so expensive, I believe. It was, let's see. Oh, they're not even showing the price anymore. YouTube TV is a leader in this space, T-Mobile said on its press release. It offers the same great flexibility, robust content, and convenience that T-Vision customers love. The message is clear. T-Mobile is teaming up with a company that has been in the game longer and is already familiar with everything it takes to make streaming, watching anywhere TV work. Now, you know that YouTube TV rose about $10, I would say about 4 months ago, with the introduction of Viacom networks. Was it worth it? You know, I have watched Nickelodeon, Nicktoons, Comedy Central, and some MTV classics, but other than that, I just, that's not $10 worth, baby. Now it's at $65 per month. It used to be at $55. Before it was like $45. That was years ago. I didn't have it then. And they were so gung-ho about this in October when it launched. In the press release, they talk about how innovation doesn't follow a straight line, blah, 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 the crap that you hear before. All boilerplate. T-Mobile describes this new arrangement as a, quote, big upgrade, adding that YouTube TV offers more than twice as many channels as T-Vision Live, and Philo offers nearly twice as many channels as T-Vision Vibe, which was the base model version. T-Vision Live started out as $40 a month, Live Plus and Live Zone each increasing by another $10. So $60 for Live Zone, which is the highest tier. And they would probably have had to raise those prices no matter what at some point in the future. And so I think this is just a cost-cutting measure, just a way for them like to save face. Might as well cut it early. It's like when Bloomberg ran for president. You know, you might as well cut it early than, waste any money going until the end and keep fighting. And he wasted $500 million. TVision Vibe was the $10 a month service that provided on-demand access, but not live streams, to shows from AMC, Discovery, MTV, and other networks. That's going away. You can subscribe to AMC. You shouldn't do this, but you can subscribe to AMC Plus and Discovery for as much as TVision Vibe for a little bit more. But who would do that? That's stupid. I understand that people aren't like me and don't want to spend money on every single streaming platform, which is smart. You guys, please continue being yourself. But I cannot imagine somebody going, I'm just not interested in Netflix or Disney Plus or HBO Max. And then Discovery Plus is announced, like, oh my God, I got to watch some 600-Pound Life. Have you seen that show? That is so sad. I was about to curse. That is so sad. Watching those people, and then you go to Wikipedia, and like 50% of them have died. It is so sad. Oh my God! And they have these hour-and-a-half long episodes, and you just see these people, and like a lot of the episode is them sitting down in their living room, and then someone bringing them, dinner, and they're having a dinner on one of those big plastic tables you see at like a church bake-off. Those big white tables that you see at only events that that white college kids jump into when the beer pong playing doesn't go well. They jump off the roofs of houses and land on them. I'm thinking of Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates now. From what I remember, it's a good movie, and I own that movie. I own that movie digitally, and I can watch it anytime. I choose not to. But I want to. I think this is a good decision, though. This is a really good decision for T-Mobile not to encroach on a space that it didn't need to. And there are other better avenues of watching television. Hulu and YouTube TV are two of the best options out there. And you're going to have to, not every service is equal. You're going to have to pick and choose. If you want your local sports, you're probably going to have to go with Philo or Fubo. I know Fubo definitely, but but not YouTube TV, because they got rid of Fox Sports South and your whole sports channels. But if you want all of your local networks, your PBSs, your local PBS, your ABC, NBC, your Fox, your CW, your broadcast networks rather, get an antenna or go with YouTube TV and Hulu Live TV. You want the AMC networks, YouTube TV, or get AMC Plus. I mean, we have to pick and choose now. It was so much easier when cable was just it. And one of my favorite parts, we'll get to the next topic, but one of my favorite parts about having YouTube TV is just the ability to sit down, not know what I want to watch, know for sure that I do not want to watch, go to Netflix and watch The Irregulars, or go to HBO Max and watch Justice League Unlimited. I love that show so much. I love the Justice League cartoon and Justice League Unlimited, the sequel series. So good. They're so good. I don't want to get I want to go to, obviously I want to watch those shows. But I don't, sometimes you just want to sit down and go through the channel guide and say, okay, all right, what's on CNN, what's on CNBC, what's on Cartoon Network. I'll say network without C. What's on HGTV? And you just want to put it on in the background, and you just want to lay on the couch, and you want the cat to come next to you. But sometimes she does, sometimes she doesn't. And then you just sit there. And it's on, and then commercials come on, and then you decide, do I continue watching these commercials? Do I get on my phone? Do I turn the switch on? Yeah, it's just a luxury, a luxurious life. Let's move on. So the next two topics are about Clubhouse, if I can click back on to this story. God, I gotta tell you, the mouse and the keyboard. Now, I will say that my computer was having issues earlier this week, and this is the third episode in a row I've talked about this Logitech mouse MX Master 3, and this. Oh God! Oh, Cortana's still around, and this Logitech keyboard, which is two of the greatest pieces of technology that I own. And I invented the light bulb. Okay, shut up. I've got so many light bulbs. It's interesting to watch breaking news happen, and then to, over the course of the next hour, see who sends out because I used to work in the news, and so if something broke and whoever got it to you first, or if you saw it in AP, Associated Press, then you try to write up the story. But it's so interesting to see which outlets get it to you first. So first, CNN broke it, obviously. 10-15 minutes later, New York Times sent me a push notification. Then Washington Post, and then now, about 30 or 40 minutes later, we're with NPR. NPR. Anyway, I was talking about, and for some reason the Bluetooth on my laptop has been going in and out. It is an old laptop. I update all the drivers all the time. I keep it clean. I keep the hard drive clean. I do everything I possibly can. I'm not computer literate. I'm like, if Linus from Linus Tech Tips is a 10 out of 10 computer geek, I'm like a 6. I don't know how to code or crack things or whatever, but I'm not stupid. And it was going in and out. I was trying to edit news time. I was trying to write something. It was just going in and out. It was bothering me. Okay, let's move on. So this next one comes from Engadget. Spotify, written by Kay Holt. Spotify plans for live audio, and they include an own version of Clubhouse. So everybody is copying Clubhouse. Twitter, Facebook, Discord, which I think Discord might be the better place for it. And obviously Twitter Spaces would be a nice place to it too. I think everybody should have a Clubhouse. Now that I think about it, because I started thinking, oh well, you can make it only for your friends on Facebook, or you can make it for your followers on Twitter. And Discord might be the most pure sense of it, besides Clubhouse itself. But Spotify, I particularly wanted to look at this because Spotify said that they wanted to do a quote live audio experience. Oh, she's scratching herself. Oh, she's licking her little paw. I just heard the bell on her, so that's why. To power its Clubhouse competitor, Mr. Holt writes, Spotify bought Betty Labs, the maker of a live audio app for sports fans called Locker Room. I've not heard of Locker Room, but if you are good enough or big enough or important enough or special or unique enough for a company to look at you and go, we need that technology or we need your skill set that we don't have, then obviously something is going right. So Locker Room is going to remain available on the App Store while Spotify rebrands or revamps it before relaunching the app on iOS and Android in the coming months. Spotify says it will turn Locker Room, quote, into an enhanced live audio experience for a wider range of creators and fans, with a focus on conversations about music, sports, and culture. So basically, live podcasting. With interaction from the audience. Would have been perfect during the pandemic. We'll give professional, I was just thinking, I paused there for a second. It would have been perfect during the pandemic. Now that I really think about it, versus someone going live on Twitch or YouTube, or doing, what Never Not Funny does is you subscribe to a certain tier, and then you get a monthly live show, you and the fans, and the cast of Never Not Funny, which I go to, and it's like 180 people. And then the hosts of the show. And it's just you guys, everybody talking. Not everybody talking at once, obviously, but the hosts are running an episode, and then they'll ask, people to chime in and talk and stuff. And it's fun. It's nice. But this Clubhouse thing, or something like Clubhouse, would have been a nice thing for people. You know, if you're throwing a concert, throwing a live concert, and you want to hear people scream. I don't know. Who cares? Spotify is trying to be, Mr. Holt points out, the go-to service for all audio things. There's podcasting, which I opened up the Spotify app this week, and obviously I subscribe to YouTube Music because I'm stupid and I hate myself, and I love a service that is just doesn't work. I just love a service that is missing music and doesn't work. That's what YouTube TV is. Oh my God, Google! I know you're listening. I know you monitor me. Come on, baby, make it better. Years and years and years ago, when Spotify was just a nascent little being, I don't know if I'm using that term correctly, but when Spotify was smaller, Google tried to buy it, and Spotify said no, rightly so, and now it's the biggest audio platform in the world. But God, imagine. You know, I mean, Google has a way of buying companies and ruining them, with the exception of, like, you know, a handful like Waze and stuff. But now it's Alphabet, not Google. So I don't know where Spotify would be. It definitely would not be where it is right now. But I don't know. I mean, it'd have been great. It'd be wonderful if Google Google has a tendency to start stuff and then stop it, like the Google Fiber rollout. It has a tendency to, like, what it did was it rolled it out in like 100 cities and then stopped. You know, Atlanta, Kansas City, you know, a few others, like Austin, and then it went, this is hard, I don't want to do this anymore, and now it's only like in small parts of Atlanta. Which I'm lucky to have it, but anyway. So Spotify has a podcast. I mean, and that's what they would have done. That's what they would have done for Spotify. That's what I was trying to say. That's what Google would have done to Spotify. So Spotify invests heavily into podcasts, and now it has easy podcast creation tools. Things like Anchor, which I use as a soundboard for this show. And now it's doing social features, shared queues, shared playlists. Now it's doing, oh God, what's that daily show that it is doing? Where it's like a live morning show, and then it intersperses music based on your preference, and then they have like talking points, and then your music, which I think is a really cool thing, even though the idea is as simple as it is. So Spotify really could be the better place for this audio thing. I also saw the headline of something, I think it was on The Verge, and if it wasn't, then I'm not going to check anywhere else. But it was talking about how Clubhouse, yeah, here it is on The Verge, written by Ashley Carman. So check this out. Clubhouse defined a format, now it has to defend it. And I mean, yeah, it created something. Imagine if Google came out in 2005. Oh, my phone. I thought it was the Max. You might hear somebody outside shooting a wind toy. What's it called? Leaf blower. Jesus, a wind toy, a leaf pusher. But imagine if Google came out with YouTube and just doesn't matter the year. Just imagine Google came out with YouTube, and then Vimeo came out, and then videos came out, and then MySpace video, and then Facebook video. Like, imagine all those came out at once within a year of each other, and Google saw that. Jesus. And the big G saw that there was this open space for a video sharing platform, but now it's all overrun by 15 different companies. Imagine if that happened. That's now happening with everything all the time. Oh my gosh! So check out Ashley Carman's piece over there on The Verge. Clubhouse defined a format, now it has to defend it. This next one comes from Peter White, no relation. From Deadline, late night laughs, digital platforms Twitch and Clubhouse look to disrupt traditional talk show world. Remember early in the pandemic when Colbert shot a couple episodes from his home in South Carolina, and he was sitting in a bathtub in his suit. And then, oh God, Fallon had his wife hold up his phone. Jesus, Myers. Oh God, I could not. These like this episode made me really like. There's like a couple episodes where Seth Meyers shot his from his iMac at home, and it was the worst looking. It was so bad. It was so bad. I would rather have had him, pick up his iPhone. This is a Pixel, but pick up his iPhone and shoot it with his front facing camera, because it was the worst. And yeah, we were in the beginning of the pandemic, but come on, you got a DSLR sitting around somewhere, a digital camera, something. And they all looked horrible, but pretty soon, people had decent cameras sent to the house or houses, or HD webcams. For Camel now, they send out great cameras and everything to people's homes, and they have to send the people have to send them back. But if you're watching the video, my hand came up in 3 stages. But the thing is, people on Twitch and YouTube, people who just reached my step goal for the day. I guess me doing Italiano, hand coming towards the what? Towards the camera. Still works. The show is still clean. I know I've said some things in this episode that are very dirty, but the show is still very clean. Hand coming. But these people have done these things for their careers, for their jobs, just as long as these people have been hosting these late night shows. The likes of Twitch's Aiden Ross recently sat down with Travis Scott on the Amazon-owned platform, and TikTok's 1 Minute Talk Show are getting as many clicks as The Late Show and Tonight Show draw in overnight ratings. I don't think you can't compare what views in broadcast television and views in late night. Broadcast television and views online. But I think the sentiment is still there. Gary Whitta's Animal Talking show that was in Animal Crossing has had guests like Elijah Wood, Selena Gomez, and Clubhouse has been the talk of the town, with the likes of Kanye West and Elon Musk joining the Good Time Show, and Letty Sue breakout Dream Dinner Party. Twitch has about 30 million daily visitors, up from 17.5 at the beginning of 2020, which I don't understand. I used to like Twitch, and then like pretty soon after me starting to like Twitch, it just went all downhill from there. I would stop. I would unfollow people. I never subbed. I never saw a point in that. I get paying people. I get giving them money, but I just never saw a point in, $5 a month to watch somebody play video games. And that's the thing. I don't want to watch people play video games. I don't want to watch them talk. I find a lot of those people irritating. I find a lot of YouTube personalities irritating. I find pretty much 99.9% of the Twitch people annoying. But I like the platform. I like what they're trying to do, and there's something to say. It's done amazing things for gaming. Like G4, made gaming mainstream on television. I mean, yeah, I guess. Twitch has elevated it to a completely different platform. Okay. Michael Aragon, chief content officer at Twitch, told Deadline that he believes that there will be a day where Twitch is essentially responsible for finding the next Fallon or James Corden. I don't think that's true. And maybe it's because I have an old mindset when it comes to this kind of thing. And while you know what, I welcome people coming up into the entertainment industry, from different with using different ways. Obviously, no one way is right, but Lily Singh is hosting the old Carson Daly slot, but I think there's something different. The difference between, you know, Fallon and Singh, and then some butthole from Twitch, is that two of those people are actual entertainers, and that's not saying that not an entertainer cannot be a Twitch personality. I'm just saying that every single person on Twitch is the exact same person, and I don't want to see them on television. Then they talk about on Deadline, Paul Scheer, comedian, hosts a show with Rob Hubel called Thursdays with Robin Paul. Robin Paul. Paul Scheer is a very big comedy name. They have great segments. People come on as characters. They get a lot of great guests. Twitch is a place that can have all walks of life, but I do think that it takes a certain kind of entertainer, barring the color and the gender of the entertainer, but to host a late night show. And so, yes, while a late night show in definition could exist on Twitch, I just don't think that the two are synonymous. All right, last things last. This comes from Bloomberg, written by Lucas Shaw. Oh God, so many freaking pop-ups. Are you mad because I was talking about you earlier, Bloomberg? Comcast weighs pulling Universal's movies from HBO Max and Netflix. NBC Universal, which is a Comcast corp, is mulling over keeping its movies for itself to drive subscriber counts up to Peacock. Currently, HBO Max pays for the rights to show new Universal movies about 9 months after they enter theaters. So the new Fantastic Nine, what was I going to say? Fast and Furious 9. Fast 9 goes to theaters in May. In December, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. 7 months. Let's say in December, they get the rights to play the movie. I know that's not 9 months, but whatever. They get the rights to play the movie, HBO Max, after it's come out on Blu-ray. And then December, they have 3-month exclusivity agreement. In March, it hits Peacock. That's how the traditional deal would probably go. They also have a similar deal with Netflix for the movies from Illumination. Despicable Me, the Minions. Now, both deals are set to expire at the end of this year. Now, obviously, they haven't made the decision, but they could do this. Peacock has about 33 million accounts. Nobody is talking about how many of those are paying. I know I'm not. The company has yet to commit as much money to original programming as some rivals. Did I mention who wrote this? Lucas Shaw. I forgot his name. Both Walt Disney Company and Warner Brothers, owner AT&T Inc., have made original movies a central part of the streaming services they're now pitching to consumers. Boy, oh boy, they're still going with that wind machine, leaf blower. Because of the pandemic, studios obviously have brought, movies have been moved to streaming. All this stuff. Nothing new coming out. Nothing new in this article. All the information was pertinent at the top. Losing movies could be a blow to burst services. I listened to a rapper named Young Dolph. I listened to a rapper named Moneybagg Yo. They're both Southern gentlemen, and both add R's into words that they don't need. The word community is said community, and I think it's hilarious. Losing movies would be a blow to both services. Universal is one of the most successful, one of the most universal studios, thanks to franchises such as Fast and Furious and Jurassic World. While Illumination's The Secret Life of Pets 2 is the third most popular movie on all streaming services last year in the U.S., according to Nielsen. Unofficial numbers, but obviously still counts because Nielsen does the ratings. Whoa, Netflix released 60 scripted movies last year. I think that they're also counting the movies that they bought, like not Bad Trip. They did buy Bad Trip. Lovebirds, which I think it's a fine film. Should Universal choose not to license films, streaming services, still eager for movies, still may have another one option. Sony, which doesn't operate under its own streaming service until Sony Plus comes out. There was something earlier, and I don't remember. I might be misremembering this, but Viacom CBS, when Paramount Plus was first being touted as a replacement for CBS All Access, Viacom CBS said that they would still option out, license out their movies and stuff to other platforms and networks and stuff because, this is just me talking. That's how you make money. For Universal to do this, I think Universal's like Ubisoft in the video game world. Ubisoft puts out the same video game, Assassin's Creed, Ghost Recon, even Immortal Phoenix Rising, I believe. All the games that they put out, virtually the same. Go to the highest peak of the map, play as probably a white man. Go to the highest peak of the map, unlock that part of the map, rinse and repeat. Far Cry. But they have their own, what is it called? Subscription service called Ubisoft Plus. And you subscribe to Ubisoft Plus, you get to play Watch Dogs, the new Watch Dogs Legion. You get to play Assassin's Creed Valhalla. You get to play the Ghost Recon Breakout Advanced Warfighter 2. You get to play all that stuff. The last one might be a hybrid of two games, I just said. But, and it costs $15 a month, but you get to play all that stuff. These streaming services are essentially that. But Universal and Ubisoft are so, another U word, ubiquitous, that it doesn't matter if they want to hold other stuff for themselves. It doesn't matter for them. They won't lose money. Now, I believe it would be the smarter move, just like what Viacom is doing, to lease out your name, your games, your movies. Your name, your games, your movies. What isn't that the better option? If in the Indiana Jones movies are only available on Paramount Plus, and I search around and I go, I can only watch this on Paramount Plus, or I can watch it with commercials on YouTube TV, bringing it back around. I'm probably going to watch the commercials on YouTube TV because it's a thing I already have. Or if I own the DVDs and I just want to watch it in HD, or if I don't own it at all, and I go, get a free, pay for Paramount Plus for a month just to watch 3 movies, or, just not watch them at all, I would probably go not watch them at all. Or if I want to watch them so badly, I would just rent them from iTunes or Play Movies, Google Play, because it's just subscribing for one thing just doesn't make sense. So if you can you make more money, you take those Indiana Jones movies over to Netflix. Yeah, they're gonna get all the views, they're gonna get all the eyes, but man, oh man, you get a percentage of that versus you getting a lot of eyes, but it's smaller than that percentage. Now, I'm just a simple Southern lawyer. I don't know much about no ratings or nothing. But what I do know is that this episode is over. Listen, if you like what you heard here, head to the website, cpluscomedy.com, where sometimes there are interviews. I haven't done one in a year. You You can also head to youtube.com/C plus comedy if you want to see a video version of this. I would say live. A video version of this show. It's me. It's only 2:30. Jesus. It's me sitting in front of my laptop's webcam. Just trying to make sense of this crazy, crazy thing we call the entertainment industry. You can also see our premiere show, News Time, which is a thing where it's like I take one story and I dissect it and I make jokes and I do little callbacks. Oh man, I do callbacks and everybody laughs. All 6 viewers, 4 of them are me. No, seriously, check it out. It's like The Daily Show, except way less funny. This week's episode is about racism in books. That's a good episode. I have a lot of good jokes in there. Check it out. What else? Instagram, Twitter, @CPlusComedy, @ChadBlackWhite. Like us on Facebook. Rate, review this podcast. Wherever you get your podcast. Tell your friends. And I'm going to go finish off this San Pellegrino. It's probably flat. It's been sitting here for 40 minutes. Goodbye. So bubbly.